And away we go. That's a little bit. Yeah, I can't do that to save replay. That's interesting. Okay. Okay. Look. Which button is it? Is that one? Okay. Yeah. Hi. I should really get this. Okay. Ideally, let's rephrase that. Ideally, I'd have a starting soon screen. But I don't. So you get to deal with what you deal. I don't have my music playing. Oh, just because I don't like the music doesn't mean I shouldn't have it. It is. I'm relegating to purely background music though at this point because it is. I don't love it. I don't love it. But that's not the point. Yeah, I would ideally have a starting soon screen so that I could just start it and then make sure everything's working without feeling the need to suddenly start talking to you because you can see me. I'm here. Hi. So this was planned as of like, we'll be generous and say an hour ago. I realized, like, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, let's do this. That's all of the planning that went into it because I had to make the thumbnail and then write it. I didn't put the description for this yet. Oh, it's so cooked. It's so cooked, chat. It's so cooked. I'm so cooked. Everything is cooked. Should I do this right now? I forget what I wanted to put. Oh, that's not correct. There we go. Okay, now the hashtag is okay. Well, I got that at least. I don't remember what I wanted to put for the description. Something along the lines of, "There's no plan for today. I'm just kind of streaming because I feel like streaming." Just usually the best reason to stream when you're not actually, doing it for your livelihood. And as in, like, it's already settled and, you have an income if you stream, right? That sort of thing. I don't, if you were wondering. So... Yeah, it's been a while. There's technically a good reason. Okay. That reason... What was it before, really? I told myself, right, that I wasn't going... that I should do it because I enjoy it. Because A, if we get into the whole being autistic about it thing, which, trust me, I'm an expert at. Due to probably having autism, but it's mostly ADHD at the very least. People can tell when you enjoy what you're doing, especially when it comes to creative stuff. And I really was enjoying it less and less, because it just... I'd say for whatever reason, but it's ADHD. I suck at playing games like... Plus Valorant, although kind of Valorant. League and Deadlock, because I'm still learning them, right? And... Hello, I see you. One sec, I need to get this out before I forget. I already almost forgot. I suck at playing the game to a level that's worth watching, at least in my opinion, while also paying enough attention to actually chat with you guys, which I feel bad about because I want to do. I like chatting with you. So in true me fashion, it took a little bit to realize that, okay, well, I could just do just chatting streams and forget how I wanted to do them, and I still haven't nailed that down exactly. But we're making progress, so there's that. I just felt like streaming today, so here we are. And I just arrived from a very long time working, adapting to being a teacher, which has been incredibly busy. Yeah. Yeah. I honestly wonder how long the average time to adapt, as you said, to being a teacher is. Because I feel like it's one of those things that seems really straightforward and simple, but it's really not. Mostly because a lot of the time, and there's that whole saying, right? You learn more by teaching someone else than you would by just trying to learn it yourself. So there's definitely a period where you're just realizing, oh shit, I actually have a lot of things that I didn't know, and I'm just realizing this, and then you have to teach them something that they don't know, well, you don't know, and they don't know, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be asking. But you didn't realize you didn't know until they asked, because until then you hadn't really thought about it, and maybe you kind of know the concept of it, but you don't know exactly how to teach them to do it, because it's just something you know in some cases. Yeah. Oh boy. It's to be a lot. Like, if someone came to me and was like, can you teach me how to play tactical shooters? I'd be like, no, okay, if I knew them, they're like, sure. Otherwise, I'd be like, who the hell are you? What do you mean? How do you know who I am? Why are you asking me, out of all people? Like, there's... Look at YouTube. There's many better options who you didn't have to search through like 15 pages of... Is it even pages? No, it's just scrolling. You just be scrolling. It goes infinitely now, doesn't it? I think. I don't know. I haven't checked that in a long time. I think it just scrolls infinitely on YouTube. But like, the point is how you... Anyway, that's not the point. There's a lot I could teach. One thing I definitely could not definitively teach, I just kind of thought of a way that I could teach it now that I'm saying it because I hate myself, is game sense. Because part of that is just literally... Oh, also hi. I didn't say hi. But I almost say hi for WhatsApp. No, not the game. The game doesn't know I exist. I don't own it either. Vertex. So close. Right, just both start with an F. Actually, they both have an R as the third letter as well. Close enough, am I right? Where was I? Right, I could... It's game sense. So like I could say some things like, okay, if they're... I could present a question. If you are here on a map, I'm not going to bother trying to come up with a specific example. I just thought of a CS example. Whatever. All right. Let's say you're on Dust 2 because that's the one that came to mind. You're opping mid. And let's say one teammate dies over on A. They have smokes B. What is likely happening if they're not pushing either of those now? That sort of question, right? You could post stuff like that. That's a hard one, actually, come to think of it, but... Because, like, what do you do? You're only going to really know that from experience. You're only going to learn through experience, because it's just a very vague, and there's technically lots of things that could happen, and it comes down to knowing which percentage chance is higher. It also just depends on your opponents, by the way. So, you know... Also talk slightly slower. Just a little bit. I talk really, really quickly because ADHD. Yeah. Also, apparently women talk faster than men. on average. Which is funny, but I didn't know that. That's just me drawing parallels. Well, no, that's me reading things that... How did I even figure that out? I was looking at voice stuff, like voice dots and stuff. Yeah, if you couldn't tell. Somehow. Friends. Yeah, I know. So, I every now and then get the energy to actually look up stuff and try and improve. Yeah. I'm just yapping to myself at this point, so whatever. It's a very interesting conundrum as someone who wants to do content creation as a career and who realistically can only do content creation as a career. So many people with ADHD kind of figure out. There's 0% chance that I could do any office job. There's 0% chance I could do any retail job. Multiple reasons of ADHD, transient autism, and the mixture of. And there's really not a lot of opportunities for someone who needs an open schedule, but also to be able to decide to not do it randomly. Like, I can just decide not to stream like I did for 2 weeks, because it's just how it worked out. I need to remember to eat my bagel before it gets really, really cold. Anyway, but there's really no other job besides an entrepreneurial one, and even then, a lot of those you'd need to actually plan ahead of time. Okay, I'm going to be taking these days off, right? Because even if you're running your own business in terms of like a restaurant or something, you can't just, I mean, you could technically, but you can't just not show up to work, right? If you're paying employees and whatnot, you're just like, actually, we're closed for the next 3 weeks. Totally unplanned, no warning. And they're just left out in the cold, right? Like you've got a cashier or something, or you'd have a cook, or a waiter, waitress, multiple probably. You can't just decide, oh yeah, I don't feel like showing up to work today. It sucks. Unless you're a massive douchebag, in which case I guess you could, but you know. You could say many things about me, but I'm not that, alright? So, I really realistically have the one career option, depression notwithstanding. So how the hell do I make that work? Because if you don't know, creativity tends to be strangled and constricted, if you will, by, well, depression, or just not having ideas, because you need to be feeling creative to be creative. I also have really high standards, because of course I do. Extra complications. Why was that so hard? Oh, it's cold. Love that. One thing I'm definitely configuring when I get my own model is chewing, so that the mouth doesn't open. Like, just because my chin's going down, my mouth isn't actually doing that. Alright, it just makes me look bad. It just wants to make me look bad. They're lazy, and also it was $25, so like, if you're gonna buy a $25 pre-made model, don't expect the world, yeah? Managing expectations. So I kind of need to, like, no, block my mouth when I'm chewing, otherwise it just is awkward. So you, I'm gonna bite you. Go back to your fish, nerd. Snarky rant. Hmm. Don't open my water yet, either. Yeah, it's worth it. Look, no judgment, okay? I had something besides the bagel today, too, so you can't even get on me. The bagel is now getting stuck in my teeth. This is what I get for still having wisdom teeth, I swear. Better. I'm just using water. Anyway. Yeah, so this is kind of all it is. I gotta figure it out. But that's long story short. Now that I have a chatter. Sorry, slip of the tongue. First day back in school. Yeah. Exciting, huh? Fun? Really fun, wasn't it? Great time. Yeah. I think it probably. I mean, personally, I love sitting there for hours doing nothing but listening and occasionally writing. I do really good with it. Can you tell? Could you not tell? Fantastic. Was a blast for sure. Yeah. Good job on reclaiming #1, by the way. Happy for you. I don't even know if it goes between streams, honestly. I don't think it does. Or it does, and it's literally from the beginning of time because I use the same code. Yay for not tuning things to people with neurodivergence. Let's go, society! Woo! Yeah. Fantastic. I love it. That's great. And then it's your fault for being different to the one subset of mental, whatever you want to call it. The way of thinking, I guess, that they know. It's your problem. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. Love that. Trippins. Don't text and write. Besides that, happy for you. I have a feeling I'm gonna be way more active on Twitter. I'm gonna be saying some bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna happen. And then it'll randomly not happen for a while, and then I'll show up again, because that's just what I do. That's what it is, really. Yep. No. No. Mm. You never really realize how long chewing takes if you do it correctly. Until you have to sit there doing nothing. Your model just like stare at you. Yeah. Funny how that works. Not that I'm self-conscious or anything. I would never. No, I'm. Lots of self-confidence here. No doubt. No. Why would you say that? Why would you think that? I'm great. I'm great. It's fine. Anyway, I don't know how long soon is. Did you catch anything this time, or just More pitiful baby bass. It's gonna take like at least 10 to 15 seconds for him to answer, I think. It might be less because I'm not really doing anything else, so it might streamline it slightly. It's like 6 to 8 seconds, I think. More babies. I want to get out of the house though, yeah. I get that. Not that I do that. I should. Kind of. Oh. No, I should do more for exercise, which I usually do sports. Hockey's probably too expensive. Definitely too expensive. But do something. It was just dancing in front of my PC to music randomly. Of course, it's also summer, so you know. There is no plan to play anything today. So I don't know how long this is gonna go for, honestly. It could be short, could be long. At least an hour though. I know that much. Like 10, you also want to eat and clean your dad's truck. Productivity. I was gonna say classic, but no, that's just weird. Like, imagine being productive. That's... What? What do you mean? What do you mean being productive? Member? No. That's weird. Why would you do that? That sounds like fulfilling or something. I don't know. Very odd. Non-internet behavior. There we go. How very non-internet of you. Yeah. What now? Anything to say for yourself? I doubt it. There's nothing to say. It is what it is. Yeah. So anyway. Plan not for this stream, but in general, is I need to rename the third channel that none of you have ever heard of or seen, because literally no one saw anything, and I put up a single D clip, which I'm gonna have to delete. I think. No, stick with like my first. My gut is usually right. Yeah, so I probably have to delete that, otherwise it's gonna throw off the whole algorithm BS. Because I doubt I'm gonna do any more League clips. Although I might if it's just like full screen. I just won't make shorts out of them. I might. Okay, I'll leave it. I'll probably leave it. But I imagine there will be Deadlock, CS2, eventually get the money into my account, Forza, because I can use this replay buffer feature of OBS to record stuff that is cool, without needing to record hours of gameplay that I know I sure as hell won't go through. Yeah. So, you'll get content. I'll get to make content in little baby-sized pieces that don't overwhelm my way overthinking it brain. And this will just be for streams. I even changed the little bio in the channel here. It's streamed content now. Which means I will eventually make shorts out of the streams. And by make, I mean either myself or paying someone else to do it. And they'll go here. But it doesn't make sense to put stuff that I didn't stream on this channel when it's already going to be a mix of just chatting and gameplay eventually, because I want to do more like single player game stuff, but I physically can't. So both monetarily and also because my PC. And by PC, I mean my PC and the stupid power situation where there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms on a single 15-amp breaker in the year 2026. Thank you, absolute brainlets who set that up. It's fantastic. Yeah. Actually, I think this used to just be a 2-bedroom house. It's 3 now. But I think it used to be 2-bedroom because, as I've said before, my room was literally attached to, like, there is a wall switch, a light switch, out in the living room that would turn on and off the light in my room. Because I'm pretty sure this was added after the fact. So there definitely didn't used to be a wall there. You can't see it, but like I'm pointing to the wall. This doesn't absolve them of anything, because that would still be the living room, the kitchen, the bathroom, and one of the other bedrooms, at least on the same circuit. Which, if you know anything about electricity, is really, really fucking stupid. So, yeah. That's a middle. Even if I magically had the money for a PC, I'd still need to take care of that first, otherwise it's also going to end up fried. If it even turns on, because it would probably, if it was an upgrade, it would just suck up enough power to immediately flip the circuit breaker. So I have no simple problems or solutions, but mostly problems. The solutions is sometimes my fault. Sometimes my fault. Simple's boring. Well, okay, I say that. Easy is boring. Easy is boring. Simple is usually just kind of how I do things. Historically. Look, when I played hockey, I wasn't like doing fancy deeks or anything. I'm fake you, and it's that easy. Just the basics. Weaponizing the basics is kind of just what I do best. So when I start trying to complicate things and think too much and get too fancy, then it all goes to hell. At least I'm aware of it now. I'm like at least thinking about that, right? So, you know. I still don't know what I'm going to do about the whole Twitch streaming versus YouTube streaming thing. Because, like, I just swapped to YouTube because it had better quality, right? And it uses a different encoder. Which Twitch doesn't. And I'm not monetized on either platform, although I can technically get subs and stuff on Twitch because I guess technically I am monetized, but I'm not a partner. Affiliate is the word I was looking for. I'm not an affiliate on Twitch. So there's not a lot of incentive there. Where I'm limited to 1080p 60 FPS at 6,000 kilobits a second, which is absolute dog shit if you were to wait. It is just horrible. For any sort of fast-paced game. Like all of the ones that I play, basically. Yeah, yeah, Even League, because League has a lot of stuff happening on the screen that kills the bitrate. So, no matter what I played, YouTube would be better for that. But I know Joker has problems watching because his work situation's a concrete building. So it lags and it doesn't do great with the whole loading of the stream thing, which is weird that it has problems with YouTube. It might just be a YouTube thing in general, honestly, instead of like streaming thing, but would be nice if you could at least watch when you want to do. Even if you can't always yap and chat because he's, you know, working. it does bring to mind the question of, okay, well then how many people are you missing out on being able to, like, stick around because they have the same problem? But then you look at Twitch and you're like, it has zero discoverability, and so that's literally pointless. So you're still getting more opportunities by streaming on YouTube. So I'm gonna be streaming on YouTube because at this point I'm set up for it, and if nothing else, it makes me actually put a little more effort into it. But I have to create a thumbnail, and then, like, I'm gonna have to do later the description because I forgot. But yeah, hopefully this is the last arc of discovery during this whole process where I actually now know what I want to do. Part of which is, you know, actually locking in on the whole voice thing. It's like, I get it. It's not even like a transphobia thing. I'm like, oh, people won't watch because it's like, oh, trans. No, it's just, if you come in, you see female model, and you hear a voice that is not that, and I know it can a lot of the times not be that, which is like attempting. I also should spend some time with my headphones off so I can actually hear better, because then I can modulate it better. But because stupid brain things association, when I'm playing games, I'm used to sounding another way because of the stupid idea that I got back in my head way long ago. It was like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to do anything about being trans, so I should just try and fit in. And then I purposefully started talking in a more masculine tone when, for forever before that, I always got confused with my mom on the phone and whatnot because my voice was just naturally there. Theories on that, those aren't worth talking about. They're just theories. Not even game theories, honestly. It's just kind of... eh. So, you know. And so... I'm gonna stick the headset off for the time being, I think. I get it. It's just human nature thing. It'd be like if you saw an orange and you tasted an apple. Your brain's not gonna love that. It expected orange, it wanted orange, it got apple, or cherry, or rose. I don't know. It's just human nature. So if I can get that locked in, then that does reduce some friction to growth and also lightens the load on my whole mental health situation, which would be nice. Because, like, I can see when people join and then leave. And it doesn't really matter what the reason is. My brain goes to that just because it hates me. Habit, really. And so, knocking that out as a friction point would be good. Because, realistically speaking, there is plenty of people with worse stream quality and setup than I have that are arguably less entertaining, certainly less clever, because I know... Look, I know that I am technically smart. Not that I always act like it or use that capability. Not important. But if something interests me, then I like it. So I know that. And I know plenty of people said that I'm entertaining, even if I don't see the charisma. Like, I kind of get it, right? But, like, agree to disagree in a lot of cases. And I wouldn't say that I'm a people pleaser, but I'm definitely more... I would prefer to make people happy if I had a choice on how to impact their day. Realistically, I'd choose to make them feel to acknowledge their emotional state and go from there rather than just pretend to be happy. But if I had a choice of like that, then I'd prefer to make people laugh, right? There's enough doom and gloom in the world, okay? Trust me, I'm over it. I don't even use social media all that often, and I'm still aware. This is just how humanity is. There's literally no way to change it. I'm not gonna say that Skynet's right and that humanity should be extinguished and made extinct or whatever, because that's really dumb for multiple reasons, but you know. People are, by nature, first and foremost, selfish creatures. It is what it is. Most people look out for their own self-interest first. I'd argue that the difference lies in not caring about other people while looking out for your self-interest. You can do both. You can like acknowledge and care about how something you do impacts someone else, while still doing what's best for you because it's your life that you need to live, and it just makes sense. That said, you don't... I mean, it's really hard to say, oh, you should throw yourself into caring for your fellow man and be self-sacrificing in all that you do. Because no, that's also very dumb. If you want to do that, then it's your life. I'd say that it's stupid. Because the rest of the world isn't doing that. And this is why utopia never works, because the rest of the world will never do that. It's just not human nature. It's not about being evil and corrupt. It's just... that's not a winning formula for life. Right? Even without getting into okay, just without jumping into politics, capitalism versus communism, or socialism, right, versus capitalism. They're obviously different sides, right? But I'd argue, regardless of which you like and prefer and think is better, the only truly wrong answer is in the extremes on either end of the scale, okay? Both have their own issues, their own intricacies that you need to navigate to make them function societally and be productive. But neither one's technically bad. People have their preferences. Some people like the ingenuity that capitalism, what's it called, inspires, because if you come up with something original and useful, you're gonna make a lot of money, right? Unless you get ripped off. But I mean, and on the flip side, a good one for the flip side. If you... free healthcare is the one that everyone goes to, right? Cool, you don't have to pay for healthcare. Really expensive. But then you also end up in a waiting list for some basic stuff which you may not get for years, depending. Whereas it might cost a lot, but in a capitalist society, you can pay for it when you want it. If you can pay for it. Yes, that's the other flip side. You have to be able to pay for it to get it. I feel like there's probably a happy middle ground somewhere, but getting people to agree on things, it isn't exactly what they want. No, everyone forgot what a compromise is, I guess. Yeah. Yay. And just, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Which is frustrating. But complaining about something will never change anything. You have to do something about it. Which leads us right back to content creation of my plans. Hey! Yeah, complaining about not having a viewer base is not going to do anything. That's not discounting you guys. Okay, I know you exist. You are there. I can see how many people click on the VODs and the streams and all that. Okay, I know you're there. I see you in the Discord too. You're just shy. And I'm not really in a place for a long time to be able to put out the energy needed to start every conversation. Which is just a normal part of any group, really. You have people who are outspoken by nature. You have people who kind of in between. You have people who have ideas about things and will talk about things, but they need to be coaxed into the conversation. That's part of what makes humanity really interesting, yeah? Everyone's different, and everyone does things their own way. And it's cool, but damn, can it be a lot to balance? It's, yeah. Yeah. So, I need to kill that out of my... whatever you want to call it. The words that I use, whatever. I don't know. This is gonna be harder than I thought. Back to the topic that I think I got distracted from like 20 minutes ago. I will be putting up shorts and clips on the third channel that I need to rename because it is still currently called Arctic Clips. Arc Dreams Clips or something. Or Highlights, Arctic Highlights, yeah. God. I'm too good at coming up with ideas that I cannot, at the moment, fulfill. I'm a dreamer, sue me. There's a reason I chose Arctic Dreams as the name that I started under. Before realizing that why did I change name? I don't remember, but it's still like it. It's better. And then in Casey Rosa, Blue Rose. It has a meaning. That meaning is Blue Rose, which stands for, believe it or not, rebirth, dreams, mysticism. I don't do anything by chance. I might do things on a whim, but there's a reason that I do it. Who knows if I stick with this? I probably will, simply because it's convenient. And what the hell would I change it to? But I mean, I still have the idea that I had for doing like less ASMR, more like not even RP, just I don't even know what to call it. It kind of falls in the category of RP, ASMR type thing with Ione Rosa, which I still don't love the name, but I can't change it because I can't change the name of the email address. But Lavender Rose, basically, or the meaning of that, which I courage something, whatever. I don't know. Just to like separate the two because this is more me. I mean, they're both me. Interesting. That was more like, this is more gaming stuff and just generally myself, I guess. And that was more just, it's a different thing entirely. And also I get to play around with looks for the model and I'm limited in what I can do with it, but it does have some preset stuff that I can change. I need to tweak the eye color a bit more, I think, or did I already do that? I think I already did that. The trickiest part is the outfit, because I don't want to look exactly the same, but with a different hair color and eye color. But, I'll figure something out. Whenever I get to that, because again, I came up with the idea, and then I thought about a bunch of stuff, and then I realized everything I'd have to do to make it work and to actually do it, and then I was just overwhelmed, and then I didn't do it. Feels well just time, really. Speaking of that, for the time being, I'm probably better off treating these more as a video recording than anything else. Because much like those, I'm just yapping to myself. And while I do try and steer away from political topics because I know how people get about politics, and I have a very particular view on politics in general. But it's probably better than trying to come up with a specific thing to do every single stream when I don't. By the time I get to the stream, I'm not going to want to do that thing anymore, okay? This is just ADHD 101. I'll have played out the thoughts and whatever that I want to do, and I won't think of them, and I didn't write them down because then it comes off as stilted when I talk about it, and it's just... It's just a mess, is the point. So yeah. Some of these will be me playing games eventually, when I can. That's very much on you guys, the audience, because, well, it's mostly on me because I need to do the stuff to build an audience, but you know, I'm just saying, you may not think that leaving a comment or a like makes much of a difference, right? But first off, ADHD, so I'm very much goal-oriented, okay? The feedback? Need it. I need it. It does wonders. But also just... It kills the voice in the back of my head that says, oh, okay, well, I guess I must have done horrible at that. But then, like, what do I do? What would I change? What part of it? Because, like, you have an entire multi-hour-long stream to try and pick through, and I don't exactly have the numbers to figure out, oh, okay, viewership really dropped there, right? Because it's like, if 3 people on average at most watching, and it's normal to have people drop out during the stream, so then it's like, okay, it went down by 1. Did they just go grab food? Or was it something I said? Was there an audio issue, right? My mic peaked or something? Who knows? That's my point. My brain will spiral around the smallest BSery. Just trying to figure things out, because that's the way that it is. So even just saying what you didn't like helps. Be constructive, say what you'd prefer was done instead, and, you know, I'm not gonna take all of it and listen to all of it and immediately act on it, because, especially with such a small audience, everyone has preferences. And at the end of the day, I'm going to do what works for me. Which is less than you'd think, because ADHD and probably autism. I say probably because I don't think that was ever technically diagnosed, but ADHD definitely was. Back when it was still called ADD. Yep. Attention deficit disorder instead of attention deficit hyper disorder. They're the same thing. It's just they did the usual science thing of, oh, that doesn't quite, these aren't 2 different things, right? In the same way that they're like, egg yolks are bad for you. Actually, they're really good for you and healthy. Like a 10-year difference between the two discoveries. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't have any set thing that I'm doing exactly for the moment. In the future, I would love to play games like Forza when they come out, or 007 First Light. I will be doing neither on stream because I can't. I might do some Forza videos, but not a guarantee. I don't even know when I'll be able to get the game. Joys of having a credit union through my mom's work because it was just easier, and Bank of America kept charging $5 a month for just keeping my money in the account. Not great when you have an income, never mind when you don't. So I need to find an ATM that I could actually deposit the money on, because the one that I tried seems to be permanently disconnected, which is a thing that they definitely do to save money, and also is a screw you, we're tired of you people showing up when you're not part of our actual credit union. We're just like partnered with the one that you're part of, because people are petty and whatnot. So they just generally don't care. Like I said, you can do what's in your best interest without being an asshole to everyone else, which is not what they chose. I also don't have a car at the moment, so it's a little harder to go check. And even if I did have a car, gas costs money. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thrilled about life at the moment. But that's just me. What the hell else do I talk about now that the blog portion? There's a better word for it. It's kind of vlog, I suppose, technically. The video log. Vlog. What does that even stand for? I don't remember. But, yeah. One part complaining, 2 to 3 parts contemplation. And it's usually a pretty good balance, I think. The games are easier, sure, but I can't do them, so yeah. I also can't really do watching videos. If I did watch a video, I'd have to talk about the video, and then I'd have to find a video that... Okay, I'm aware most people don't do this, but I feel like I should message the person whose video it is, asking if I can use it to watch in a stream, even though we're in the year 2026 on YouTube. And it literally falls under fair use, right? But it just feels weird. Maybe I'm just old. I don't know. But I also hate talking to people, and then also they could say no, and I don't have the energy to look for like 20 different videos that I'd want to use, and then have to look through 20 of them, and then potentially go through most of that to find someone who'd be okay with it, but then also maybe just go through the first one, and the first one I'm able to use, and then the rest of it was a waste of time. Yeah. I do think of these things. Yeah. That is brain power that I actually used. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. I know. It's fantastic, isn't it? Can I help you, dog? I know you have water. I know I didn't leave it on that container. Yeah, we have a container next to where I usually keep her water, which is where their dry food is kept. Also where we keep their the other two bowls for the other two dogs, because they have a different water bowl. I didn't leave it there for very long. I forgot because I was thinking, oh, dog bowl. Yeah, there. I just cleaned it after they finished eating their food, which they're on raw food most of the time, so gotta rinse that out for sure. And yeah, that would have been kind of difficult for her to drink. Yeah, not exactly yummy. But I'll be right back though because bathroom. So. Here we go. Other thing I thought I'd be doing is music, I guess. I need to practice guitar more. I'm very self-conscious about it. I know, surprising the person who terminally overthinks because she's really, really dumb. Or rather, too smart. Okay, I'm just too smart. It's not me bragging, it's me acknowledging the fact that I overthink things. Okay. I see a lot of outcomes. Anyway. So that would be ideal, and that would be a thing that I can just do until people show up to yap. But they could also just turn into people only showing up for when I play music and I start yapping, they leave, and then it's really awkward, but so I'm just gonna do what I feel like doing. That's the long and short of it is I'm gonna do what I feel like doing, and you can't stop me. I could stop me, but it would be counterproductive to literally everything that I'm doing, so I'm just not going to. Probably. Occasionally, maybe I'll get in my own head, but whatever. Until then, I will lament that I don't have a better background. Even though I have ideas for what I would want it to be, I just haven't got around to making it. This works. This just works. Kind of like Skyrim, it just works. But I would prefer not a spiral thing, but like a circular, almost tunnel like. I don't know if that would work though, I might have to like off-center it. It could work, maybe. Hard to say. Oh. My life would be much easier if I could just start streaming at like 8 and go to like 12 o'clock. But I can't because I have to feed the dogs in the morning sometimes. When Mother Dearest decides she wants to go on another multi-week long trip, or a week-long trip, without real warning. Not that it would change anything, because I'd still have to change my schedule, which I still haven't got my sleep schedule there's no better word for this, unfucked from when I was basically nocturnal almost 7 years ago now. So, yeah. Part of that's depression. Okay, like it. Yeah. I don't have a reason to specifically get out of bed in the morning, right? There's nothing pressing. I don't have school. I don't have work. And if I don't have to feed the dogs, then I don't have to feed the dogs, so it doesn't matter. But then I oversleep, and by the time I do get up, I'm miserable, and I'm like, oh, I wasted all this time, and oh, like, I don't have any time to work on stuff now. It's just really annoying. It's very annoying. I'm gonna say that for reasons. I need to widen my view of what is good to. Are you back? Are you back now? Okay. We're live again. I don't know why it randomly died, but it did. It dropped like 900 frames until it restarted. Which, considering 60 FPS isn't that long, okay? It's like 15-ish seconds maybe. But in internet terms, that's an eternity. If anyone was there, you probably left. Potentially. Unless you were really invested at listening to me yap randomly. Which, fair play. I don't get it, but fair play. I mean, I also don't get foot fetishes, but like, you know, that's a thing. So, I wouldn't necessarily equate the two, but I'm just saying, you know, I get it. People have different tastes. Now we're gonna do a test. And if I hit that again, is it gonna kill the stream again? Because that would mean that I need to reduce the amount of memory that it's taking up. But it seems fine. It was just completely unrelated that it randomly crashed and caused issues. That's great. I love that. I love that for me. It's not indicative of my PC dying because my motherboard is screwed, and I know that because I replaced my graphics card, yay, and my CPU, yay, but not my motherboard, yay, and my power supply. I did the two. So literally, the only thing, oh, and the memory. So the only thing it can be is the motherboard, which is the hardest thing to replace because everything else is attached to it. And after dealing with the Arctic Freezer 2, never buy that piece of junk, by the way. Holy. Like, oh, it took you how long to install it? It must have been a user error. No, that thing is just notoriously dog shit because the screws that they use and the setup that they give you to use is horrible. Also, the backplate on my motherboard is no longer attached by the glue that it was attached with before. Also, how I know it's screwed, because there's no reason that should be disconnected. It should still be glued on there. Yeah. Problems. I've got a little bit more than 99. Just a few. Just a few. But, I mean, technically bitches ain't one because I'm not interested. Heck if I know what my sexuality is, but it's at least currently at the very minimum depressed enough to not be interested in a romantic endeavor. But I was like that before. So it doesn't check out. But at the very least, I figure that, you know, most people, when told by a girl, hey, we're a couple now, this was like in middle school, so like with a grain of salt, they'd be like, okay, cool. I was like, yeah, whatever. I literally don't care. I don't care. I might never care. That's just how it is. But The idea is nice. The reality of it, I'm more likely to have like a roommate or someone who I like as a friend and never have it go beyond that. Most men get attached easily, so I'm aware of that. But not in like that sense either, so like, who knows? I'm a very unique person. It is what it is. Someone's saying that's the plus side. Well, who knows? But yeah, no. So dog, no. No. I do not know what she's doing. Bit enough fleas again. Just spray my carpet again. The display is right here. I can kind of do it now. Kind of, I say, because it's also a fan blowing out of the door to remove the hot air from my room, which now smells heavily of mint. It's the prevailing scent, and maybe composition. It's probably mint extract, so like it's not like it's full of mint extract. That would be prohibitively expensive. But mint is good at killing insects, so don't know why. Maybe it burns their little lungs from the inside out, just like, you know, when you breathe in something really minty and it burns. Who knows? I couldn't tell you. But they don't like it. Ants, flies, fleas, whatever. Ticks. Just don't like thinking about ticks, but ticks. Don't love that. Anyway. The point is the fan's blowing out of the door, but then I can't like spray the doorway to effectively create a no man's land for the insects because it's blowing it past into the hallway, which also needs to be sprayed, so like whatever. But yeah. Anyway, if you do have any ideas for videos or something you'd want me to watch, and comment on, because I'm going to have a commentary. You are going to get a running commentary of whatever the hell I'm watching. I will pause to throw out ideas as ADHD, and I will not remember at the end if I don't say it right then. But I'm not going to just sit there like a good little girl and not say anything. Cry about it. You know what you're in for now. But anyway, write it down in the comments if you have anything you want me to, you know, actually react to. I called like, how long am I into this? This is the beginning of the 3rd year. Yeah, beginning of the 3rd year. May 12th. 2 years prior was when I started streaming. And it was like 6 months before that when I started planning everything out. And I'm still salty over almost hitting affiliate within a month and a half or like 3 months or whatever on Twitch. And then never getting close again. Part of that was getting into my own head too much. And like I said, you can tell when a streamer isn't enjoying what they're doing and when they're being performative. Yeah. So I get it. I stopped enjoying playing War Thunder, which is partially because it was War Thunder, which if you played War Thunder, you get entirely. And also just ADHD was playing havoc with everything as well, so yeah. But I called that I'd be doing react or just chatting streams instead of games. Why wouldn't I just do it then, you ask? Because I hadn't fully reached the realization, I guess. So I knew, but I wasn't at the point where I could do that if I wanted to anyway. Because I still want to do games in the future. It's just the type of... It was less that I can't stream games, and more that I can't stream the type of games that I currently have available to stream. I would probably be really happy streaming... I'd be mostly happy streaming CS2. If I physically could stream it, but I can't, because it would crash. My PC literally doesn't get enough power to use all of the components that it currently has installed. At their highest potential. Maybe even to like 3/4. Maybe it gets to half. I don't know. There's no way to diagnose that on my own. There's no way to fix the issue without money. It is what it is. So the question becomes, in true me fashion, because I'm not going to just watch videos of other VTubers or YouTubers doing stupid stuff or reacting to stuff or reacting to reactions of reactions. What do I do to put my own stamp on it? You okay, Doc? Drink some water, nerd. Well, I don't hear anything else. Hopefully that's fine. They are getting old. Amongst her many other issues. But what do I do to do things my way, which is the only way I ever succeeded at anything? I tried doing fanfic writing a long time ago, but I did it the way everyone else did, and no, that doesn't work. Funnily enough, that still wasn't what stopped me from doing it. It was, I came across this scene like, right, I have to write a mother-daughter scene. That definitely doesn't carry any baggage for a trans woman. So, you know, that was obviously super easy and I breezed through it. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. No. Oh boy. And then also I have ADHD, so like I physically can't sit here and just write happily. No. Oh. And I couldn't narrate because I don't want to hear the sound of my own voice. Another reason to work on that. So I couldn't use like voice to text even if it wasn't complete ass. So, you know, yeah. It's about where I sit. This is the third time that I've done this. I think it might. It might be like the third baby reboot refresh of my content career. Because there was the first one where I just started, and then I had another one because I took like a couple months break. I took like a month break because mental health, and then I had to take multiple months break because PC issues, and then I got them, and then there was instantly also issues again already, and so I couldn't do the games that I thought I was going to do that I was already psyched to do, and then that killed my mental again. Another little break. Started up again, doing decently well, and then more issues, and here we are. Accepting just chatting is my only avenue of content for streaming. And just praying that I can make this productive enough before I no longer have a PC to do anything with. Here's hoping. I don't tackle light topics, okay? Like, if you want some normie, boring shit, go elsewhere. I don't know. I inevitably only have deep, I'd say insightful, but like, yes, but also just completely meaningless thought. So, you know. Do you need to know how those weird accordion buses that are like technically like one bus cut in half and then elongated work? No, but my brain still wonders. Which is like, seriously, how the hell? How does that work? Obviously, there's something built in for like structural integrity, but it's still just how does it side to side movement, but not like up and down? And I don't know. Hi. Guess number 2. Also because that has potential to turn into somebody's intro that I could actually put on the channel, but I need to get over my whole self, my entire self, and nothing but myself. So anyway, how's life? How's the fish? The drive back from fish. More babies, right? Oh, no, so the fishing wasn't great. Hopefully relaxing though, which is arguably the main reason for fishing these days, because like you don't actually need the fish for food. You just go buy something else if you don't catch the fish, which is significantly less harsh than, oh, I guess I starve now. No name time after class. Any time after class is like negative. Yeah. Not to be the bearer of bad news, but that doesn't change necessarily. It doesn't change, period. Life kind of has this weird curve, I guess you would call it, where you have a lot of time as a kid, and then you have high school, where you have like decent amount of time, but you have less time. Then you have college, where you have like no time at all, and then you get a job where you have even less time, and you can't really take time. And then you get to the point of having a job where you have more time because you've hopefully progressed far enough that you can like, you have less hours, or you started your own business or something. And then, yeah. But I can sleep in my usual time. You discovered to wake up at 5 and couldn't go back to sleep with some anxiety. Well, that's relatable. I love ADHD. It's great. You can stay up like that. That's also just a classic student pastime. It's 12 o'clock at night? No. I need my gaming time. Mommy needs her game time, you know, sort of thing. Or daddy, I guess, if you wanna toss that out there. It's applicable to most gamers, to be fair. You know, as long as you don't start saying that on mic, you're probably okay. But you know, that's technically just true of most things. You need decompression and stress relief time. Don't take that weird. I should probably shorten. I should put it to like 1 minute and 50 seconds or something for the memory on the replay buffer. Because 3 minutes is probably a bit much. I also probably only need like 6 hours of sleep if we're talking about it realistically. If I was caught up on sleep in the first place, not that I'm behind in sleep at all or have any issues going to sleep and waking up at the right time. But you know, theoretically, if that was the case, yeah. Yeah, 3 minutes. Oh, okay. See, I was like, oh, like a minute and 20 seconds, like 2 minutes. Like, a CS Valorant round is like a minute and 30 seconds, a minute 40 seconds or something. So, that's all I need. And weirdly, I should have taken that as proof that I should be doing content creation in Valorant or CS2. Except Valorant became a toxic cesspool that I didn't really want to deal with because solo queue in that game is hell. And I've avoided doing it in CS2 for that exact reason. But you could say that there's a parallel there to be like, obviously that I should do that. But anyway, I then talked myself out of that saying, but what if? Because deadlock. What if there was a sequence where it was like 3 minutes or like 2 minutes or whatever long and I wanted to like capture it? Well, the answer is no one's gonna freaking watch it because it's a long time and it doesn't work for a short, and it's too long for a highlight as well, but it's also not long enough for a highlight versus a clip. It's an entire thing. It's an entire thing. CS2 is fun until, okay, look, realistically speaking, I know that I'm good enough at tactical shooters to get into a point and a level, elo whatever in CS2, Premiere specifically, where I'd start running into cheaters, and then I don't really want to invest so much time into something because it would be a grind to get to a high level and then be told, actually, no, you lost because they're cheating and you physically can't beat them reliably. Sorry. You just gotta roll the dice every game. Which is the reason that I stopped playing Siege as well. Because like right around Plant is when you start running the cheaters more regularly, because cheaters don't stay in low elo because they're cheating. They physically can't. If you're cheating and you're below plat to gold elo, the equivalent, you are so many different layers and tiers of trash that it's probably just unsalvageable. Uninstall the game. Stop paying for a program to cheat when you're still only achieving that result. Just saying. Okay, it's just beyond cooked at that point. It's so cooked. Anyway, tangent aside, it is fun, and I'll probably play more later when I'm not in my head about it, because I'm back in my doing it because I enjoy it art. Yay! It's been a good day mental health-wise. What do you mean depression is fun? Why would you not want to? It's like an extra challenge, you know? Oh. Why play life on easy mode? Boring. Boring, I say. Why also ADHD and potentially autism? Don't worry about that. And I just, you pick random modes sometimes and you get something you don't know what to do with, and it just makes it really hard. Not that I have an ego and, take challenges that are probably above what I should be trying to tackle at the moment or anything. No. I'm very aware of my limitations. Unironically. I got a million new deadlock mods, including my crosshair with no brim. What the hell does that mean? What is a brim? Besides brimstone from Valorant? Who's not what you're talking about? I already know. No head is, I think, how 90% of everyone would say that, by the way. No head, or no top. No hat, even. But no brim? What do you mean brim? Where does brim come from in this? How does brim apply? I'm confused. Also, most people just call that a T crosshair. Don't you cigarette smoke me? Don't even. There's no being smug and coy about this, like, oh, she just wouldn't get it. Flicks away cigarette, breathing out smoke into your face. No. You need to make sense before you can say that. It's a meme from like 6 years ago. So I kind of want context. But on the other hand, asking for context dates me a lot more than I've already dated myself by not knowing in the first place. So I don't know. Wasn't your idea? My crosshair in my brain, you just regurgitated it. Okay, so it was like it. Oh, I feel better. It is being dramatic for no reason. Is it literally just an inside group joke? I'm choosing to blame you for this. This is somehow your fault. Okay, you just need to accept it. It's somehow your fault. Was it? Great. Just rolling in clips for today. That's fantastic. That's good for somebody. Good for somebody. My ego? No. Good for somebody, though. My non-existent editor who's not eating anything because they don't exist. Yeah, them. It's me. I'm the editor. I edit the videos. I'm not paid. So technically I've locked myself in the basement, if you want to look at it that way. So, like, I guess I'd have to crawl out the basement window or something, because, like, if the door's locked on the outside, then I can't really unlock it for myself. I mean, we could also pretend that, like, getting a large audience and viewership would be, like, someone coming along and, like, breaking the door down from the other side, like Good Samaritan-like. Like, that could work. That could work. Locked in a cage for a whole nother 11 days. There's no punchline. There's no punchline. You're just in hell. And then you start doing work. The hell never stops. It just changes colors, I guess. The bars look different. Easy AF work. I'd argue that's worse, except it's not worse, it's just boring, which to me is worse. Maybe perhaps in an hour max at home for the report. Yeah, but I'm biased, so like you can't just discount my bias, alright? I'm just saying. Like, we can both be right here. You don't have to fight me on this. You don't have to fight me on this. Afternoon is free. Yeah, you didn't take my bias into account. My biases? Biases? I like... Oh, my heart. Oh, siren jump scare. I really don't think I picked up on the microphone. Oh boy. But yeah, no, I like biases more. So I'm gonna use biases. It is your bad. Mm-hmm. So we'll call it like 3 hours. Oh, also, my dearest moderator. Not for any particular reason. Ignore that. I'm ignoring that. Could you by chance do the math for like what? Was it 500 divided by 3? Is that how that works? Whatever it is for like how many hours per work, dollars per hour that is, just because I'm curious. Not for any particular reason. I know you love doing math, so I'd hate to steal this from you. Is the point? Okay, like I'd hate to take this away from you after you just spend all day sitting in front of a desk. Huh. I guess that's pretty decent. 1/6 devil number repeating, which makes it not devil number. Ignore that, doesn't matter. Honestly, I'd argue that like amplifies the devilishness of it, you know? I'm just saying. I think that's just how that works. Yeah. If you're cracked. I don't think that's how that works. It's just if you get 2. Got that dog in you? That's a different site. Also illegal, actually. It's just generally illegal. Should I think about furry art commissions, in which case... it's actually probably like the average amount you'd earn as a good furry artist, isn't it? And you might earn more, honestly. You might earn more. Potentially. Look, the thing you need to understand was the people who want that stuff are nerds. And by nerds, I mean they're the people who run the backbone of society because they're the coders and all of that shit. So they have a lot of disposable income. They don't usually go outside and socialize. Relatable. And so they're willing to pay a lot for it. Often. It's just a funny art thing. You would earn infinitely more. It's a shame that I can't draw. Partially because it would be hilarious to fund my VTubing career off of being a furry artist, but also just because it's a good source of income. Tempted. I kind of prefer the like mix of human and animal features, though, not like actually animal. Not knocking it, it's just my preference. Oh. Oh, look, a distraction. Anyway. I fear the degeneracy of it all, honest. That's entirely valid. Because, I mean, what is there after furry art? Like, because, I mean, there's furry art, and then there's erotic furry art, right? So, like, that's already a step further down the ladder in your descent to degeneracy. Most people don't, like, they know those depths exist, but they've never dipped a toe into those waters, right? Unless they're a normie, then they have no clue. You tell them this, their brain is going to explode. But I don't know if I want to think about what's after that, because I don't know. What happens after that? Is there like a niche for you take IRL like furry like photographs then, like in fursuits? Like on like a personal commission basis? Would that be like story? Like, do you write, is it like a branching path? You then write stories of erotic furry endeavor? Like, I don't, this is going places that I really wasn't expecting to go. Like, I was just making a meme, but now like my brain's actually invested in thinking about it, which is slightly problematic. Yeah. So we'll just say that it goes down from there, and we'll leave it at that. Why do I think that's going to become a short? That would be the exact sort of thing that would do well as well, because people love being horny, especially in the VTuber sphere. Sphere? Yeah, Sphere. We'll say it weird. VTuber Sphere. Oh god, no! Now we're back to fur. Orin? Beating around the bush while being horny in the VTuber space. Yeah. VTubing. That weird offshoot of idol culture where you're simultaneously supposed to be cute and innocent and yet sexualized. And yet not supposed to somehow know what that means, or at least act like you don't know what that means. And it anyway. Yeah. It's the niche that doesn't at the bush. Yeah. Yeah, you find them on Rule 34. But if you talk about sex, you'll get 1 million views. Exactly. But you can't know what it is. But if you get a clip of you talk about it, or better yet, like someone talking to you about it and making a reference, but you not getting it, and then like realizing, then you're famous. Like, as long as you keep acting like that for like the next few months or whatever, and then you like know, and then you, I'm talking about Hania. This is Hania, isn't it? This is like just Hania. This is literally Hania. Huh. But if you ever previous relationships, you will be stoned. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they can't live their fantasy then because, you know, parasocial. You know, it's okay to like someone. Just, you know, have the realization that you're not actually in a relationship and they don't know who you are in the slightest. And it's okay. Then it's okay. As long as they're comfortable with it, it's okay. You know, I'm actually really glad that that was used in context, because I don't think I would have gotten that out of context. Mike Ox, and, well, the Chinese word for dragon. Yeah, I can put that together, but I can't put together the, because it's just a name. It's, like, you can't bully me. I have ADHD and probably autism. See, that's the problem. I'm too smart to be clippable, and I'm too proud to purposefully do it to be clippable. Most of the time. Most of the time. Yeah, welcome to Casey Rosa. We go from Blue Rose Odyssey. It was literally right there. Welcome to Blue Rose Odyssey. We go from deep, meaningful topics to full-blown naivety, I guess. Yeah, that's just a thing that I've kind of always had going. It's not even reading everything in my head, it's just that I can read everything faster than I can physically say it. So, for instance, it'd be like, because for months you'll have shitters, like that's as far as I'd be talking, but I've read like the entire thing already in my head. So it's not like it's a tactic where I'm stalling, it's just literally I've already finished the entire thing and I can't talk that quickly even while I already start talking faster because whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know why. Oof. Plenty of clip potential though for today, and I'm gonna have to go through all of this. Something. Oh my god, OBS. I'm. Internet, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you in a non-funny way, Internet. I'm gonna do it. I'll do it. Chat isn't showing on. So it isn't. So it isn't. Well, that's awkward. Oh god, it's now buffering. Yeah. Oh. I forgot I have to find a new way to get chat on screen, which means going back to using stream elements because it's already mostly set up and I just have to do that, and it can't hang on the whole streaming side of things because YouTube does it differently, which is part of the reason why I went to YouTube, because they just end the stream without it. Hey. Yes, okay, so next time we'll have chat on screen. Unless I forget. Then we won't have chat on screen, because yeah. Is it improving after that? I'm just gonna have to go on YouTube if I want to make a clip out of it. And conveniently, there's the YouTube chat next to the stream, so I'll just have to record that and then put that in. Which is not that complicated in the editing because it's just another layer. Which, gods, I wish that there was some way to like edit in 3D because it'd be so much better. I hate it. It feels claustrophobic because it's like the tiny bottom, but I don't have 3 screens. So I can't have the preview on a 3rd monitor and then the rest of it on the other monitors. And I can't have it on 2 separate monitors because I don't have the paid version, which technically I would need to do the 33 screens anyway, but you know what I mean. Me when I have 2.5 screens. You and your tiny ass baby 3rd screen with another League of Legends character on it. Or Deadlock. Could be Deadlock now. It's probably Mina, isn't it? Yeah. No. No. It's a full screen now? Define full screen. I'm size checking you. Yeah, I'm size checking you. I'm size checking you. No, I just need to know. See, like, if my brain moved slower, that would have been really good for clipping because I would have just said how many inches without realizing it, and then had the realization afterwards, like 90% of VTubers, because word out, mouth before thought, realize. But I'm just different. I'll still say it on purpose because like I'm aware, but it doesn't, it doesn't have the same reaction. With 3 full monitors, you're still not telling me size, Alto. How large is the third monitor? 13 inches? 24 inches? Is it 25? You can't say stupid. I have streamer mode on. There's no notification. Now who's stupid? Well, you have an entire screen for Spotify. You absolute psychopath. What do you mean? What do you mean you have an entire full screen for Spotify? On full screen, to be clear, it is the entire screen. It doesn't just have it in the windowed mode like a normal person. You don't even need to have it full screen when it's nothing else is there. It's like what I do. It pops up, it's in its own little window. It doesn't take up a lot. It's enough. I can see all the things that I need to. And I'm, look normal. In one of the few ways that I look normal. Usually have other stuff there, since I'm using full brain to type here. My condolences. I have you in mind that's for using your full brain, not for the typing here, to be clear, before you even try anything. The full screen Spotify for all— What? All info? Are you blind? Like, you need a new glasses prescription? Is that it? Because you should not have issues seeing everything and like, I'm not talking like tiny window, okay? I mean like, it's a 24-inch screen. It takes a decent amount of space, but I just stack stuff on top of each other and then I click through. Listening to music on Spotify? Yeah, because you haven't transmigrated? I mean, I guess that technically you haven't migrated your playlist over to YouTube yet, even though you have the ability to do that. And it's generally better quality according to you. Alina. Why are you defending yourself? Because you need to. You're on the stand. Duh. Hello. This is the court of VTuber opinion. What? Did you not read the door? It was right there. It was right there. Did someone steal it again? I meant to run the sign off. Doesn't matter, you're still here. Most nothing argument. This is a very important argument about the mental well-being of my dear friend Alto456. Zero, sorry. I forgot the 0. And just making sure that, you're okay and getting the help that you need because you have Spotify in full screen. I worry about you. Full monitors, having one of them half filled and the other 2 full, so is crit. One half filled and the other 2 full is so cringe and whack. No, it's just less autistic. At least I think. Usually people with autism don't like asymmetry. Which is weird because ADHD usually likes asymmetry. Which if you, didn't know. Actually, how does that work? Does that just like fight itself? Nothing to just that though. No, you're bad, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say you're bad, it's a reality of the situation. It is what it is. My brain's already going for the tangent about like how that works between a mix of ADHD and autistic traits, like, because a lot of them clash if taken separately, but like, do they just mix and match if you have both? How does that work? Could have all your apps on your desktop symmetrical. Oh no. See, me personally, I just made a shape, a random pattern really, and now I just have that pattern. Let me do this. There we go. Okay. I think that works. Let's just double check everything to make sure. No, that's also yeah. So there we go. This is what I've done. This is what I've done. I'm smaller because I'm repurposing my setup, my scene for Stranova capture, which Stranova. Wow, throwback. Yeah, I know. Anyway, so I just made a random pattern, and yeah, this is the stream safe monitor. The other one's more cluttered, but I did the same thing. So yeah. Can I do that again real quick so I can just remember to make that hide? Cool. So yeah, that was my answer. Actually losing your mind. Okay, and 20 icons on both sides of your desktop, but you didn't have enough games on the right side and daily apps to the left to make it symmetrical. And you're losing my name state of your desktop, so no score. Yeah. It works for me. I forgot to reopen the window for that, and I think it was making it lag. No, it's just in general lag. Why is it lagging lately? I don't know. Weird. By the way, well, I mean, I already diagnosed you, and I'm like, I'm on the internet, so you know it's like the same thing as getting a diagnosis from a doctor. Huh? It was free, even. Yeah, I should have charged you for it. You're so right. Actually, that's retroactively. That's Ooh, what do I want to take? What payment do I want to accept? Because I feel like monetary might be a bit harsh and just kind of like come across as needy. How about a couple rounds of CS? Yeah, a couple rounds of CS. I know, real big ask, but you know, I think that's fair. Yeah, pretty sure that's fair. The Herculean task. My bad. I'll just go cry myself into a corner now because my friend hates me. I don't know. That's what it is, I suppose. Stupid boots and pants meme was that even a song? I don't remember. It's been stuck in my head for like 3 days now. Every time when I'm not paying attention, it just sneaks in. Yes, you can mess up this. Yes, I wouldn't want you to strain yourself. So, you know, you don't have to. Mental fortitude? I'll show you mental fortitude, Ran. When's your koi fish model coming out, huh? When are you gonna start work on that? Already asked? Oh, damn, what if I was just suddenly busy? staring at a wall and watching paint dry or something. It's super involved, and I couldn't possibly pass up the opportunity. You can start getting paid and have an income. Way to be rational about it. God, okay, fine. You get your first investment? Yeah, I was gonna say. Even for me. Actually, no, I'd probably go for the model first, let's be honest. I need to balance model, PC, and fixing the utterly fucked power setup that my house has at the moment. So that's great. On top of obviously, like, you know, food and stuff. Because, yeah. See, that's the thing. I technically wouldn't need to do the PC first. Depending on how long in the future we're talking. I need to do the power situation first, because if I got a better PC or even an equivalent PC, it would still end up fried, like I've said like 15 times during the stream, if the power isn't sorted first. And then I'm back in the same situation. So realistically speaking, I would need to start the commission. Well, I'd have to commission the model and have that all be planned out. And that's getting worked on in the background. And then I'd have to solve the issue of the electricity. And then either simultaneously, depending on how long it would take, or part of the way through the process, buy a new PC. But before that, I have to get money, so. Oh, I need to remember to reduce the memory that it's using, because yeah, I don't need 100, I don't need 240? 60, 120, 180. I don't need 180 seconds. Even if I can do it, I don't need it. Miles Garg is nothing higher on your pipeline. Fair. I'd have to take out a mortgage if I wanted to get all the Ari skins though, so you know, it's not really an option. Also, I don't care enough. I have all of the ones that I want. Wait, I already have over half, don't I? Oh no. Oh. Oh no. Yeah, but I don't like the faker one. And unlike most of the people that play CS2, I'm not going to get a skin because it's popular and prestigious. I'm going to get it because I like it. Which is to say, in the future, I'm going to be looking for every skin that is moderately Fox related. Notice the vague and indistinct future instead of a set time frame, because there isn't one, and I have to, because I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. No, because then I'd want to play Celeste, and I don't want to play Celeste because the character pisses me off. Still kind of, I like Celeste even as is. I just don't like playing Celeste. She has no CC, her ult is painful as hell, and she's really short ranged, and all she can do is left click. That's it. That's all she can do. It's like so many of the characters in the game that I would like, but they only can left click. And then the other ones that I like have some weird BS3 or are a guy without a mod that turns them into a female that also has its own voice line so that you're not just hearing a guy. I don't think I need to explain why that I wouldn't want to deal with that. And if I do, then figure it out. Sorry. But look, there's some context clues below the stream in the description box. Yeah. Look there. Venator goes so hard. Probably like Venator. Except, see previously stated issue. So, well, it's just how it is. What do you mean? He's only good early, mid, and late. Close, medium, and long range, and he's not great at long range, but he can still function at long range because ultimate. He has skill shots, AoE, technically 2 different types of CC, even if one of them is realistically not the most reliable, it's still really good in certain circumstances. Mina's hot, so you just bite the... No. Mina is hot, and you have ADHD, so you can't just play Venator all the time, because you need the variety. I know this from experience, Alta. Okay? It's the same reason that I don't just play Ari and Neferi every game in League of Legends. Okay? Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna cut things here. That went on for 2 hours. It's pretty decent. I actually don't know what my phone battery is at. 40%. That's not bad. That's not bad. It could go at least another 30 to 40 minutes, probably. Like 3-ish hours is usually when it's like 20%, which is another thing that I need to get, is another phone for streaming specifically, but that's way further down the list. Anyway, hopefully you all enjoyed. By y'all, I mean whoever the hell stopped by. I specifically blocked off how many people are currently watching or have been watching because it doesn't help. Hopefully you enjoyed. Also, you fellow watchers, see you. Stay awesome, and I'll catch you in whatever the hell the next one of these is gonna be. It'll be sooner than 2 weeks, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. There's ways to know, because I post it somewhere, but I don't post it on... Actually click on my channel and you'll see at the top there's links if you want to. There you go. Easy. I think that's enough to limit the amount of bots that end up doing it. Hopefully, they're getting smarter. Whatever. Happy to see.